And come back in. Okay. All right. Okay, so the second of the Yoga Sutras, Yoga CHITTA, VRITTI, nirodha in Sanskrit means to still the fluctuations of the mind. And that is one of the blessings of yoga, that we are able to use this practice to kind of still the fluctuations of the mind. That, well, you know, the weather, the weather changes, the stock market's up and down, politics, everything changes, but with our yoga practice we can endeavor to still the fluctuations of the mind. And we can do this in different ways. We can use our breath, we can bring our focus back to the movements. We can in meditation, we can gaze on a specific object, such as a candle flame. There's lots of practices, but in yoga today, we are going to start on our backs, and we'll start with a focus on the breath. So come on down, find a comfortable laying down position. So the spine is nice and long, and then once you arrive on your mat, see if you can snuggle your shoulders underneath you so you have lots of spaciousness in the chest. And if you like, you can tuck a blanket under your knees. That might give your lower back a little bit more support. You might have to re-snuggle. And then just let your eyes close, and let's bring that awareness to the breath. And notice how long it takes for the fluctuations of the mind to start, you know, happening. Doesn't take long for most of us. Let's just tune into our normal breath. You can place a hand on the belly, or one hand on heart, one hand on belly. And as you close your lips gently, just begin to invite a deeper breath into the nostrils and fill up. See if you can follow that breath all the way into the body, keeping your awareness, your focus there. And then lower the belly down to the spine and exhale completely. Begin again, filling up, maintaining that focus on the breath, knowing that you are human and things will come to tempt you, to distract you. See if you can keep your awareness on the breath, or at least bring it back whenever it strays. Good, fill up again. Maybe getting a little bit deeper with the breath each time. And then let your exhalation release that air completely. Let that belly draw back into the spine. Good, begin again. Fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, fill up the lungs. And then as you exhale, just release that air slowly from the top down to the bottom. Good. One more. Focus on that breath. Fill up. Feel every little nuance of the breath. And then let it go slowly. Good. And then just pause. Notice if any shifts have occurred in your body. Maybe you're a little more soft on the floor, a little more accepting of the surface as your support. Maybe your mind's a little calmer. Maybe already you're noticing you have a little more energy, so you want to move. So let's leave that left leg extended, and then take the right leg. See if you can bend it so that your right foot comes to the inner thigh of the left. And then if that right knee is suspended in air, see if you can take your blanket and tuck it underneath there. Also, a block can work. And here we are in the supine tree pose. And let's take a few breaths here and just kind of settle in here. And notice if this external rotation of the hip is causing fluctuations of the mind. You can bring your hands back to your belly. Let's take 3 breaths. Deep inhalation through the nose. Nice, long, slow exhalation. And see if you can let that hip gently soften. Good. Take another big breath in. Good. And as you exhale, just release that belly down into the spine and take your hands back behind your head. We're going to take some gentle sit-ups. So just a gentle lift of the head and the shoulders, keeping the gaze up toward the ceiling so we have a nice long neck. And on your exhalation, lower the head back down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Good. Move with your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Keep that core drawing in. Good. Let's take 3 more. Just a gentle lift. Just waking up the core in our supine tree. Good. On your next exhalation, just let it go. Release your arms out to a T. And take this right leg, hug it into your chest. Just give it a nice little pull. Notice how that affects the lower back. Take some ankle circles with this right foot. Good. And then just gently draw that right knee across the body. You can keep your arms in a T or take your left hand to the outside. And just feel the stretch in this outer hip. Maybe turn your head toward the right. So it's a shoulder opener, so just be gentle. It's our first one. We're not really warmed up. So breathe here and see if you can soften on your exhalation. We'll take 3 breaths. And allow this next breath to be the fullest. And on your exhalation, come back to center, hug that knee in again, and send the leg up toward the sky. See if you can straighten it out a little bit, getting that hamstring stretch. You can hold on to back of the thigh, the calf, and then just point and flex a few times. Good. And then release your hands down to the mat. Slowly lower that leg using the core muscles. Allow it to lower down. And just notice. Notice the difference between the right and the left hip, the right and the left glute, the right and the left leg. And then we're going to take this left leg, externally rotate, bring the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Prop yourself up as needed. So you can take your blanket, tuck it gently under that left leg and find some real support there. Let's take a few breaths here. Notice if your shoulders have unsnuggled. See if you can snuggle them back under so we have lots of space. Good. Fill up the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then slowly release that air. Let it go. Good. Take 2 more. Keeping that focus on the breath. Letting go. 1 more breath. Excellent. And as you're ready, take your fingertips behind your head. Let's take some gentle crunches. So just move with your breath. Inhaling, keeping that gaze up toward the ceiling. Nice long, smooth back of the neck. Good. Keep moving, drawing the belly into the spine as you lift your head and shoulders just a little bit. Nice. Let's take 3 more. Excellent. And slowly lower down, take your arms out. No, bring your leg in, hug it in, take some ankle circles. Just notice that lower back. And just starting really gentle this morning. And go the other direction. Good. And then gently take that left leg, cross it over the body, open up your arms, or take your right hand and gently hold the outside of the leg, getting that stretch in the outer hip. Maybe turn your gaze in the opposite direction. Let's take 3 breaths here. Just tuning into the hips. Notice if your breath has gotten a little choppy as we're introducing new opportunities for the mind to fluctuate. Good. On this next breath, fill up. And slowly roll back to your back on your exhalation. Hug the knee in again. Send it up. Point and flex a few times. Good. And then gently lower that left leg. And we'll take a moment to appreciate both sides, both hips, both glutes, both legs. Take a nice big breath in, and then take your fingertips back to your head. Support your head and neck. We're going to leave the left foot on the floor. Take that right leg and just gently circle that hip out. So you can keep your head and neck, head and shoulders lifted. If it gets tired, always the option to lower it. We're going to see if we can incorporate the abs a little bit. Keep the breath as smooth as you can. Let's take one more pass, circling in one direction, and then switch. Switch directions. Take your circles in the opposite direction. Always the option to lower your head. Good. Let's take one more circle in this direction. And then gently lower down, lower the head, lower the shoulders. Just release the arms for a moment. Take a big breath in and a long exhalation, and just notice again the difference between the right and the left side. Let's take the fingertips behind the head again. We'll lift that left leg up and take your circles in whatever direction feels most intuitive. You can take small circles or big circles. You can lift your head a little higher, lift your shoulders a little higher. Keep that gaze up on the ceiling though. Good. Let's take one more pass in this direction and then switch the direction. Good. Warming up the hips, warming up the abs. Keeping a smooth breath. Good. Take one more pass and then lower the left leg down, lower the head and shoulders if you haven't already. Let the arms rest. Take a moment. Take a nice big breath in and a super long, slow exhalation. And then here we go, last little bit of abs here. Bring your feet into supine Baddha Konasana. So the feet, bottoms of the feet come together. And again, we're going to bring our fingertips to the back of the head to support the head. Take a gander up at the ceiling. Keep your neck nice and long. And use the strength of your abs to lift yourself up. Make that your inhalation. And then on your exhalation, just gently lower down. Now, if you have blocks and you'd like to support your legs, always that option here. Let's move with our breath. So nice slow lift and a slow exhalation as we release back down. Let's take 5 more. Good. Move with your breath. So your breath might be a little slower than mine. Might be a little faster. Just let your breath dictate your movement. Good. I think we have a couple more. Excellent. On this last one, just lower it down. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs. Bring them together. Hug them into your chest. Let's take some of those yummy circles, circling it out in one direction, giving your lower back a massage. Switch directions. Excellent. And then we're a couple choices here. We can rock forward and back to come to seated, or just roll to one side and come on up. We'll meet in a nice comfy seat on our mat. Feel free to tuck your blanket under your hips, just to lift your hips a little higher than your knees and let your legs relax down. Take a moment here to lift your spine and draw your shoulders up to your ears. Take a few shoulder rolls. Notice what you notice. And then let those shoulders roll down away from the ears and take the chin down to the chest. Stretch the back of the neck. So maybe our neck got a little stressed out here. Let's take the chin toward the left shoulder. And then take it back down and over toward the right. Just take some gentle semicircles, keeping the chin close to the chest. So nice stretch in the back of the neck. And then on this next pass through the center, bring your chin parallel to the earth and lift your gaze so you have this nice stretch in the front of the throat. And then take your gaze toward the right and then toward the left. Begin to make little semicircles, maybe bringing your chin down toward the right shoulder, circling it up and over toward the left. Good. Notice sounds. Notice sensation, no pain. Only sensation, so lighten up anytime you feel pain, genuine pain. Come back to center. Yeah, we're only going for sensation here in our yoga practice. When you're ready, take your arms up, reach up. Let your palms touch, and then take a gentle lean over to one side. Inhale as you send your fingertips back up, get long, and exhale as you lean to the other side. Good. Inhale, get long in the side body. Bring your fingertips forward. Chin can come down to chest. On your inhale, lift up, reach up. On your exhale, lean to one side. Good. Hips stay on the floor. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up, and exhale, lean to the other side. Good. Inhale, get long, and exhale, reach forward. Only as far as your back is ready. Chin can come down to chest. And then use the strength of the abs to rise up. We'll take one more. Move with your breath. See if you can stay present to your breath and your movement. Good. And take it forward one more time. Walk those fingertips as far forward as you like. Get that nice stretch in the lower back. And then take a gentle walk back, up, and take your legs, bring them forward and to one side and come up to your tabletop. So if you have a hard surface underneath your knees, always blanket, towel, do what you need to do, protect those knees. So if you shake it out and spread those fingers nice and wide, dip your belly, lift your gaze, come into your cow pose, and let your exhalation be a long cat. Imagine you're a luxurious cat in front of the window taking a nice morning stretch. Good, then come back through your cow on your inhalation and allow your exhalation to stretch, bringing the belly into the spine. Good. Take 1 or 2 more, depending on how you're feeling this morning. And then find stillness in your table. You can take a little Sophie shake if you like. Let's leave the right hand where it is. Inhale the left arm up. Take your needle threading underneath that right arm. Left hand comes to the floor, left temple comes to the floor, right arm lifts. Good. You can circle out that wrist. Take a shoulder circle if you like, or flip the palm and come into your half bind here. Take a full breath here. See if you can get that nice stretch in the upper back. And let go with your exhalation. And when you're ready, inhale the right arm back up. Exhale it back down. Inhale, lift the left arm, follow it with your gaze. And then exhale, lower it down. Good, take a couple Sophie shakes. And then find stillness. Fingers spread, pressing into the joints of the fingers, supporting the wrist. Let's take the thread in the other direction. Lift the right arm up, inhale. And exhale, thread it underneath. Right temple comes to the floor. Inhale, left arm lifts. Take a circle if you like. Take a half bind if you like. Full breath. Inhale, when you're ready, lift that left arm, and exhale, send it to the mat. Take your inhale as your right arm lifts, and your exhale as your right hand comes back to the mat. So if you shake it out. Good. Take your toes and tuck them. Send your hips back toward your heels, and give your feet a nice stretch. And then come back to center. Bring your knees wide. Bring your big toes to touch. Send your hips back for a child's pose. Just let your forehead rest on the floor. You can reach your arms forward, getting that nice stretch in the upper back and shoulders. Let's take 3 breaths here, giving your hips a chance to sink back. If they don't want to go all the way back, you can always tuck something between your calves and your hips, a blanket or blocks. Always using support wherever we can so that our practice can be one of focus and concentration. So we're not distracted by some of these fluctuations. Let's take one more full breath. Breathe into the back body. Good. And then on your exhalation, come back up through your table. Take your hands a little bit forward. Tuck your toes again. Get that nice stretch of the feet. Then we're going to use the strength of our abs. Use the strength of our legs to lift ourselves up. Come into our first downward facing dog. Now, if downward facing dog doesn't work for your wrists today, we'll meet you at the front of our mats in a forward fold. But if you're enjoying this down dog, maybe you want to take your dog for a walk, bending one knee and then the other. And then find some stillness here. Keep pressing into all the joints of the fingers and the finger pads, that meaty area between the thumb and the index finger. Support the wrists. Good. Take a full breath in, come up on your toes, and on your exhalation, look forward. Take a walk to the front of your mat. Circle out those wrists, bend your knees as much as you need to. Find a forward fold, head under heart. So this can make us dizzy. This can cause blood pressure fluctuations. So just know that you can always come up slowly. But if this is feeling really restorative, maybe you want to rock side to side, forward and back. And then slow down your breath if it's gotten a little choppy.
Take a nice full exhalation. Shake your head yes and no. Relax the back of the neck. And as you're ready, release your hands. If they were in ragdoll, slowly root to rise. Come all the way up. And then reach up for the air. Come up slowly so you can let your self settle. Let your palms draw together and right through the center of the body and then land at the heart. Take a moment. If you want to test your balance here, close your eyes or close one eye. Be Popeye. And then release your hands. Let your palms face forward. Draw those shoulder blades together on the back. And just feel your weight start to center. You might explore that sensation as you rock from side to side, just letting the weight shift. And then see if you can find that center point. So gazing forward, bring your awareness to your belly button, to your core. And see if you can find that center point, that stable center where we can still the fluctuations of the mind. Good. When you're ready, inhale, reach up, look up. As you exhale, take a hold of the left wrist and take a side bend over to the right. And look under your left arm. Keep both feet pressing into the mat. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up, maybe lean back a little bit. Exhale, come back to center as you take a hold of the right wrist. Lean to the left. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up, maybe lean back a little bit more, looking back at your thumbs. Good. And then exhale, come back to center. Sink the hips back. We'll come into chair pose. Good. So breathe in here, lift and spread your toes, and then recommit to your mat, pressing your toes into the mat, and maybe sink down a little bit more. Take a nice big breath in, and then bring your weight to your right leg. Feel that shift. Gently come up on your left toe. See how that feels first. Find something in front of you that's not moving, and then take a step way back to the back of your mat, and voila, here we are in crescent pose. Nice lunge. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. We're going to take our hands to the mat. Now, if your hands don't quite reach the mat, blocks are great right here. Your fingertips can come to the mat. Keep that right knee over the right ankle. And maybe you want to scooch that left foot back a little bit more, get a little more of a runner's lunge. And rock forward and back. Feel that stretch in the left hip. Good. When you're ready, take the left hand to the inside of the right leg. Take a twist, lifting the right arm up. And you might take a circle here if that feels super good. Follow it with your gaze. Or flip your palm, take a half bind. Breathe in here. Breathe out. And then take that right hand back down to frame the right foot. We're going to think about rocking forward a couple of times, and then think about that left foot coming a couple feet forward. And we're going to come into pyramid pose. So both feet are going to still be facing the same direction, facing forward. We're going to take our left foot as though it's on a railroad track. So they're not on a tightrope. They're about, hip width apart. And then lift your gaze slightly so it's in front of you on the floor, and see if you can straighten both legs and get the hips a little square. Do what you can. And on your exhalation, bring your nose towards your right knee and just see how that feels. Good. Shake your head yes and no. Keep your breath nice and smooth. Awesome. When you're ready, bend into that right knee again. See if you can bring your hands up to your heart. And then we're going to use the strength of that right leg to come up a few options here on that left toe, or maybe you lift that left leg up, straightening the right leg, coming into warrior three. Good. Options here also, you can take your arms out to airplane, take them back, or if you really want to go for it, frame your ears. Excellent. Breathe through it. When you're ready, hands to heart, and then slowly lower the left foot to meet the right. Shake that out. Take some hip circles. Bring your hands to your hips and circle it out in the other direction. Good. Do the hokey pokey. Turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Come back into your mountain pose. Good. Find that mountain pose. Let yourself settle. And see if you can notice a difference between the right and the left leg immediately. I notice it. The right hip, the right quad, even the core. Rock from side to side. Find that. Appreciate how the body keeps us upright without our even really conscious awareness. And then find that center. Bring your awareness to your belly button, if that helps. With your chin parallel to the earth, find something that's not moving right in front of you. And then we'll sink down into chair pose on this side. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe sink down a little bit lower. Good. Draw the pinkies toward one another. See if your shoulders are hunched around your ears. See if you can lower them down. Good. And then bring your weight into your left leg. Come up on your right toe. And this might be enough. Keep your drishti. Keep your gazing point. See if you can hold on for just a little bit longer now, baby. And then when you're ready, we're going to step the right leg back. Come on up into your crescent warrior. So draw the pinkies toward one another. Frame your ears. Good. Breathe in. Nice long spine from tailbone to crown. Left knee over left ankle. And the right heel is lifted. So good. Breathe in. And on your exhalation, we're going to take the fingertips to the floor or your blocks. And you might want to scoot your right leg back a little bit more if that gives you that awesome hip stretch. Good. I love this stretch. Super good for if we're walking or running. You can rock forward and back a few times. Then find stillness. Right hand comes to the inside of the left leg. Sweep that left arm up. Take your twist on this side. Good. Decide if you want to take some shoulder circles or maybe a half bind. Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Always smoothing out the breath. On your inhale, reach that arm back up. Follow it with your gaze. Take it back down to frame the foot. And then maybe rock a couple of times as you contemplate this idea of stepping the right foot forward a bit, and we'll come into our pyramid pose. So again, the toes are facing forward. We're on railroad tracks. So the wider your legs are, the more stability we will have. So when you're ready, we're just going to take a little jump forward, straighten out that left leg. Inhale as you lift up, take your gaze somewhere right in front of you on the floor, and then exhale, take your nose toward your left knee. Again, fingertips on the floor or blocks and shoulders down away from the ears. Good, breathe in. Breathe out. So that right heel might be lifted slightly or it might be on the floor. See if you can press that heel a little more toward the floor. Good, let's take one more breath here. Exhale it out. And then think about bending that left knee, coming forward so that your knee is over your ankle, and then bringing your hands to heart center. Maybe you come up on the right toe. Maybe that's as far as you want to go for today. But if you're feeling really fun, lift the right leg, come into your warrior three here. So you can flex your toes. You can bring that left leg to straight. Keep your drishti, keep your gazing point on the floor. So good, so strong. Reach your arms out or back or forward. Find that warrior three that works for you. Good, excellent. When you're ready, hands come to heart center and just step that right foot to meet the left. Come back into your mountain pose. Let everything settle. Good. Maybe even close your eyes. Take a nice full breath. Roll those shoulders back and down. And recenter. Excellent. From here, bring your hands to your heart center. Leave the left foot on the floor and take a giant step across your mat. So your feet are wide on your mat. And then bring your hands to your hips. We're going to take a gentle forward fold. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Or if your blocks are handy, you can use your blocks. We're just going to bend the right knee, bringing a little bit of stretch into the inner thigh of the left leg. And then gently walk our hands over as we bend the left knee. Good. Take a couple more passes. Nice. And then we'll end up in the center. Hands can come to the floor, and then maybe you want to walk them back so that they are in alignment with your feet. And let your head just hang if that's okay. If you're not feeling dizzy or everything's feeling good, you'll get a nice little rosy glow in your cheeks. Shake your head yes and no. Good. Breathe in. And then look towards your left leg. Take your right hand to the outside of the left leg and keep both feet pressing into the floor. As you peel that left arm up, take a twist here. See if you can keep that integrity of the both legs pressing into the, both feet pressing into the floor and both hips somewhat squared. Good. On your exhalation, take that left hand down and we'll reach it across for the outside of the right ankle. Lift the right arm up. Take your twist on this side. Good. So it's an upside down twist, so go slowly. Keep your breath smooth. Keep pressing into all four sides of the feet. Good, nice big breath in. And then on your exhalation, bring both fingertips to floor and gently walk your hands forward. So we're in a wide leg for downward facing dog. So really claw the mat, draw your shoulders back. See if you can take your hips back and take your gaze back to the floor behind you. Soft neck. When you're ready, take your hands in front of you and slowly bring your hands to your hips. Use your core to rise up. Excellent. Heel toe those feet in about hip width. We'll stay right where we are. Unless you need to face me, but you might not want to look at me while we're doing this. We're going to come into a tree pose. And I have some trees behind me. The wind is blowing, so you might not want to look at those trees. See if you can find something in front of you that is not moving. Bring your weight into your left foot and externally rotate, just like we started on our mat. Externally rotate that right leg. So you want to draw those muscles, draw the kneecaps up and draw those muscles of the left leg up so they're really engaged. And press those left toes into the mat. Good, and this is great. Here we are in tree, finding that stability, imagining where we have deep roots. And then maybe if you want to reach down and place that foot on the inner thigh of the left leg, you can think about reaching
your branches growing, staying rooted, releasing leaves. Eventually we come back to the heart. Bring that right knee forward and lower it down to meet the left. Excellent. Rock it out. Circle it out. Do what you need to do. Release the kinks. And then bring your feet about hip width. Lift and spread your toes. And then press all the toes into the floor. Feel all four sides of the feet stabilizing you. Bring your awareness to your belly button. Find your mountain pose. Find your drishti. Look at something that's not moving. Definitely not me. And when you're ready, take that heel to ankle tree pose to start. Opening up the left hip. Hands can come to heart. Or maybe you want to grow your branches from here. Keep pressing into that right foot, all the toes, all the joints of the toes. You feel that right foot really supporting you all the way up that right leg and hip into the core. Maybe you want to reach down and bring that left foot to the inside of the right leg. Press into the leg as much as you're pressing the leg into the foot. Grow your branches from here. Good. Take up space. Beautiful trees. Drop some leaves. When you're ready, hands come back to the heart. Release that leg. Shake it out. Maybe take some ankle circles, hip circles, whatever feels good in your body. And then we're just going to unceremoniously come down. If you have a favorite way, through squat, or just come on down. Let's bring our right leg to our left hip and cross the left leg over. We'll take one generous twist toward the left shoulder. Good. Take the left hand behind you as you inhale, lift, and as you exhale, twist. Just want to get one more twist in. And then as you're ready, on your exhalation, just unwind. We'll take it to the other side. So left foot comes to the inside of the right hip, or extend it long if that knee will not bend as well for you today. Press the right hand into the floor, lift the spine, lift the crown of the head toward the ceiling. Take your gaze over the right shoulder. Good. Nice stretch for the outer right hip. And there's one more to go, so don't worry. Our hips will be nice and stretched today. Take one more breath in, fill up. And on your exhalation, unwind. And come back down to where we started. Maybe lowering down slowly. Good. And then bend the left knee. Take the right ankle, cross it over the left. And then maybe reach through for your figure four, or reach behind that left thigh and draw the legs a little closer. Soften your face, soften your jaw. There seems to be a little connection between the jaw and the hips. So see if you can soften your jaw if your hips are still feeling a little tight after all that. Breathe in, relax the shoulders. Breathe out, let go. Good, take one more breath in here. And then a nice long exhalation as you lower the left foot to the floor. Let's lower the right foot. And we'll take it to the other side. So cross the left ankle over the right. Hug it in, whatever way feels right. You can flex both feet or your left foot just to keep that leg engaged. Good, nice big full breaths. And see if your exhalations can soften you. Sure they can. Good, breathe in, smile. Breathe out, let go of something. When you're ready, release both feet to the floor. Take your knees and windshield washer them. Both sides, unless your mic pack is underneath your back. And then just drop your knees over to one side. Bring your arms out to a T. Turn your gaze in the other direction. Again, one more stretch for this outer hip. Good. Breathe in. Bring your knees back up and exhale them down. Turn your gaze in the other direction. Good. Take a nice breath in as you bring your knees back up to center, and then send your legs long. Bring them wide as your mat. Take your arms overhead, arch your back, take a full body stretch. Take a big breath in and tense every muscle, including the abs, legs, feet, face. And on your exhalation, let everything go. Let your arms rest. Let your legs rest. Let your shoulders relax. Let your hips be heavy. Close your eyes. And just be present. This is a blessing for presence from the poet and theologian John O'Donohue of blessed memory. May you awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. May you have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. May you receive great encouragement when new frontiers beckon. May you respond to the call of your gift and find the courage to follow its path. May the flame of anger free you from falsity. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame, and anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. May you take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. May you be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift, woven around the heart of wonder. Feel free to stay right where you are, or maybe begin to deepen the breath. Make small movements, wiggling fingers and toes, Turning the head from side to side. And then if you're ready, roll to one side and just take a moment to pause and notice. Notice if there are less fluctuations of the mind. Notice if the breath is smooth. And see how you feel in your body. And then as you're ready, use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a seat, maybe propping yourself up one more time. Finding that length in the spine, finding that nice posture with an open heart. And keeping your eyes closed, take your arms out wide, reach up for all the goodness. Take your palms together, draw them down to the center of your body, to your heart center, and take a moment to pause, to find gratitude for this presence that we all have. It's there. Just need to remind ourselves. If you have some extra presence to go around, send it out in the form of a prayer for someone. Thank you for practicing, for letting me guide you through this practice. Namaste. Thank you, guys.